Line up 10 brand new cars from 10 different brands, cover the logos, and almost nobody can tell them apart. They all have the same tall front, the same squinting headlights, the same rising side line. 50 years ago, this was impossible. You could name a car from a single blurry photo. So what happened? How did every car on Earth start to look like the same car? To understand it, first remember just how different cars used to be. In 1950s and 60s, a car was a face you knew instantly. Tail fins, chrome grills, long hoods and bold, unmistakable shapes. A child could shout the name of a passing car from across the street. Each brand had its own personality, stamped into steel. You did not need a badge. The shape alone told you who made it. Designers chased beauty, drama, and pure emotion. Nobody cared much about wind, or fuel, or crash tests. A car was a sculpture first, and a machine second. And that gave us decades of shapes we still remember today. Today, that freedom is gone. And it did not disappear by accident. The first great force that flattened them all was the air itself. Every car has to push through a wall of air, and air fights back. That resistance is called drag, and drag burns fuel and drains batteries. Governments now demand better fuel economy and lower emissions, year after year. Engineers measure this with a single number, called the drag coefficient. The lower that number, the less fuel the car wastes just fighting the wind. So every carmaker on Earth is chasing the same goal. Slip through the air more easily. And here is the trap. Physics only has one best answer. There is essentially one ideal shape for cutting through the wind. A smooth, rounded nose. A gently sloping roof. A high, tapering tail. When every engineer solves the same equation, they all arrive at the same silhouette. The wind does not care about your logo. It rewards only one shape. So brand by brand, the drama got sanded away, replaced by the slippery blob of efficiency. A modern car slices the air beautifully. It just looks like everyone else doing the same. Even mirrors, the door handles, and the wheels are shaped to cheat the wind. Every gram of drag removed is a little more range, a little less fuel. So the pressure never stops, and the shapes keep drifting closer together. The second force reshaping every car is one you hope you never test. Safety. Over the last few decades, crash rules around the world became far stricter. Cars now must protect you in a front crash, a side crash, and a rollover. To do that, they need thick pillars, strong roofs, and big crumple zones. Those crumple zones need space, so hoods and tails grew deeper and blunter. The doors got taller, and the windows shrank into thin slots. That high, chunky, armored look is not a style choice. It is a crash requirement. There are even rules for what happens when a car hits a pedestrian. The hood has to sit high, with a cushion of space beneath it, to soften the blow. That is a big reason new cars have those tall, blunt, upright faces. Physics decides how metal must bend to save a life. And physics is the same everywhere. So carmakers on every continent land on the same thick, protective proportions. The thin windows and high doors are the visible price of surviving a crash. We traded the airy, glassy cabins of the past for a stronger, safer shell. The third force is hidden completely out of sight. Shared platforms. A modern car is astonishingly expensive to design from scratch. So a giant company will build many different models on one underlying skeleton. That skeleton is called a platform. The floor, the wheelbase, the mounting points. One platform might carry a sedan, a hatchback, and a small crossover. And often it carries several different brands, all owned by the same parent company. A humble family car and a luxury badge can share the very same bones underneath. When the skeleton is identical, the body on top can only vary so much. The wheels sit in the same places. The doors open at the same angles. Designers are handed a fixed frame and told to make it look new. No wonder so many cars feel like cousins. Under the skin, many of them are. Sharing parts saves billions, but it quietly erases what made each car unique. The same engines, the same seats, the same switches travel from model to model. Efficiency is the goal, and difference is the cost that gets cut. The fourth force lives in the design studio itself, and in the computer. Once, a car was drawn for one country, for one kind of buyer. An American car looked American. A tiny Italian car looked gloriously Italian. Today, a single car must sell in America, Europe, China, and everywhere at once. So it can no longer be too bold, too strange, or too local in its taste. It has to please the entire planet, which means it must offend no one. And the way cars are designed changed too. It moved onto the screen. Powerful software now simulates the wind, the crash, and the cost before any metal is cut. The computer constantly nudges the shape toward the safe, efficient, proven answer. Car makers also test new designs on huge groups of ordinary buyers. Anything too daring makes people nervous, so the sharp edges get voted away. Step by step, the design converges on what the most people will mildly like. A bold shape might win a few hearts, but it risks scaring off the crowd. In a business this expensive, standing out is treated as a danger, not a virtue. And so the quirks, the risks, and the surprises are polished off one by one. What survives is a shape almost everyone finds acceptable, and almost no one finds thrilling. The fifth force is the one you see on every road right now. The rise of the SUV. For decades, families bought sedans, in every size and shape imaginable. Then the crossover arrived. Tall, roomy, and easy to climb into. Buyers loved sitting up high, and sales exploded across the whole world. So every carmaker rushed to build the same thing the crowd was buying. Brand after brand filled its lineup with nearly identical tall crossovers. Same raised body. Same chunky stance. Same two boxes stacked together. When the whole industry chases one winning shape, variety quietly dies. The SUV did not just win. It slowly replaced almost everything else. Classic sedans and small hatchbacks quietly disappeared from the showrooms. And the choices that remained all shared the same tall, heavy outline. And the sameness did not stop at the shape. It reached the paint too. Look across any parking lot today, and count the colors. White. Black. Gray. Silver. Over and over, row after row. Year after year, global surveys find these few shades cover most new cars sold. The bright turquoise, the deep reds, the sunny yellows of the old days have faded. Buyers fear a bold color will look dated, or hurt the resale value later. So they choose safe, neutral shades, and the streets turn to shades of gray. Even the color of our world converged, right along with the shapes. A gray car hides dirt, resells easily, and never looks too loud in the mirror. But it also means the joyful, confident colors of the past have all but vanished. So put all five forces together, and the mystery dissolves. The wind demands one efficient shape, and every engineer obeys it. Safety rules demand thick pillars and tall, blunt faces, all around the world. Shared platforms force the same bones under a dozen different badges. Global markets and computers push every design toward the safe middle. And the whole industry chased the same crossover shape, in the same gray paint. 5 different pressures, all pushing toward the exact same answer. This is what engineers call convergence. Many roads leading to one destination. And here is the part that is hard to admit. It actually worked. Today's cars are the safest machines ever sold to the public. They crash better, and they protect the people inside far more than the old ones did. They burn less fuel, or none at all, and they poison the air far less. They are quieter, cleaner, more reliable, and more efficient than anything before them. By almost every measurable standard, the modern car is a triumph. The convergence we complain about is really the fingerprint of a problem being solved. Each car looks alike because each one is very good at the same hard job. But something real was traded away to get here. Every one of those improvements pushed the design toward the same narrow answer. The tail fins are gone. The wild grills and the fearless colors are gone. The instant, joyful recognition of a shape from far down the road is gone. Cars used to have faces you loved, or hated, but never forgot. Now they slide by, smooth and silent and almost invisible to the memory. You can love a car you remember. It is hard to love one you never even noticed. We gained safety and efficiency, and we quietly lost personality. That is the deal the modern car struck, whether we noticed it or not. Every strange, beautiful, inefficient idea was measured, tested, and slowly removed. The character of the old cars was not stolen. It was optimized away. Piece by piece, the exciting choices lost to the sensible ones. Each daring line lost an argument to the wind, the crash sled, and the spreadsheet. And the car we drive today is what remains once every argument has been won by the numbers. It is faster, safer, and cleaner. It is also, in a strange way, forgettable. So the next time every car on the road looks the same, you will know it is not laziness. It is physics, and law, and cost, and fear, all pulling in the same direction. The car did not lose its soul by accident. We slowly optimized it away, one rule at a time. And somewhere in that trade, we decided that safe and efficient mattered more than unforgettable. Maybe that was the right choice. But it is worth knowing what the choice cost. That is the story Gasoline Ghosts was made to tell. The quiet fall of the cars we loved. Thanks for watching. If this made you see cars differently, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.